But when you go back to take this back to Green Step, I mean, when you talk about a government entity here giving best practices, okay, 28 best practices. Can I ask a dumb question? Who came up with these best practices?
The environmentalists.
I didn't do it, I promise.
Gee, I wonder.
I mean, does anybody even ask? Any of you people who are in positions of power even scratch your head and go, okay, 28 best practices. Well, who created them? Where are they being implemented? Where can you show success? Yeah. Anybody even do that?
Well, I'm thinking it kind of ties into the Agenda 21 plan, but that's just me.
It is just you.
And the reason I brought up,
I'm just kidding.
And then the reason I brought up the enterprise that's going on in North Dakota with the oil that they discovered is because it's the environmentalists, which is environmental management. It's the environmentalists that are pushing back on that. And who are they to have the authority?
Well, they've gotten in bed with the right people.
Yeah, I mean, the EPA has its nose in everything. And this ties back to the EPA, too. I mean, the EPA is putting money into the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. Together, they're working on things like this to get solutions for local governments to implement, because that makes it easier to manage if you have it at a local level.
And I would add, one of the things they're trying to do is push cap and trade. I mean, if you really read in depth here, you'll see things like carbon footprint, things like that. Now, cap and trade failed to pass into law, but now these executive departments are pushing cities to voluntarily do this, to implement cap and trade policies.
Right. Yeah, if you can't get it at a national level, you see where you can get it at a state level. If you fail to get it there, you go local.
Yeah, and if you want to hear a sample ordinance, we'll get into what happened in Crystal in a second, but they have a section called Travel Demand Management Performance Standards. Now again, sounds like gobbledygook. Listen to this. Any new development or existing business expanding its operation requiring a permit, which is basic permit, rezoning, or getting tax money, which pretty much is everything, okay? The only thing you don't need a permit for in Crystal is to breathe and pass gas. But it has to meet the following standards. 15% who travel to work have to travel in a mode of transportation other than a single vehicle car. Meaning almost 1 out of 6 employees have to get to work not in a single vehicle occupancy car. So they're going to regulate how, I mean, imagine jobs are scarce enough. Imagine if you said, well, I can hire you, but you know what, you got a bike to work or you can't come.
But yet they're implementing a city fleet investment. And you
city
can bet,
fleet?
Yeah, so that the city people are going to have, like, government, you and I are going to pay for their vehicles, and you can bet they're not going to carpool together.
That's true, yeah. Who at the city carpools?
Yeah, nobody.
Nobody. Who takes the bus? Or city manager or community development director? No, it's for us peons.
Yeah.
Right.
And they do have some good, growing local foods is something that we've talked about. And I think that that's a good idea to pursue, but here's the problem. At the same time, they call for smaller housing lots and higher density housing. Now you tell me, how can we grow more food if we have higher density housing and smaller house lots?
Well, they want to have the high density, have room for the people that live there to be able to grow food too. They want the landlords to set aside room for gardening. Hey, you've been to some of these places. It's basically all covered in concrete. How are they going to do that? Taking away parking? Well, I guess then those people can't drive. So then you're solving some of that. Point 14 under transportation also goes as far as that, where they encourage cities to implement parking maximums, limiting the number of customers a store can have if people refuse to walk or bike to the store.
And
well, if I'm going to get groceries, okay, how am I supposed to walk or bike?
Well, they want you to grow
my
them in
dog
little
food I have to
plots
take
that
home.
they allocate you in your rent. It's like you have to purchase a little plot of land that's extra for you to grow your own food, and that comes
Something
under
they can
number
tax.
8 of land use is mixed uses. Develop efficient and healthy land patterns.
Yeah, and the mixed use is the retail with the
Yeah,
apartments on top of the
Mixed-use development.
Yeah, that's what that means.
Exactly, and that's going back to tying everything to the redevelopment plan, your ordinances, so that you can build this type of foundation. And if you also look into the different things, it says it wants to limit low-density housing and remove barriers to high-density housing. So they want to limit how many single-family homes can be in an area because they want to push more of the high density. Another thing I just thought was incredulous, if you look at point 28, under business synergies, they encourage that some businesses use waste heat or water discharge from another business. That's just gross.
So if the exterminator comes next door, let's
bathtub.
use his waste to fuel the business, fuel the heat.
Yeah.
Well, you know, just tying back to City of Crystal when they were proposing this, we spent 3 or 4 days laughing at this and looking at this and decided that their December 4th city council meeting, we were going to try to raise a stink about this. And this was scheduled for a vote. And of course, it was done Crystal style. They talk about it at a work session for 10 minutes, get a 2-page puff piece from the city engineer who goes on and on about Greenland melting. And then 2 weeks later, they're set to vote on it. Not one drop of input from the public. Your opinion's not sought nor wanted, which is Crystal style politics. And I started a little, I probably regret this, I started a little communication with the council the morning of this. Kind of trying to give first off, their budget wasn't on their website, their proposed budget. It was actually in the frequently asked questions section. I have no idea why it would be there.
Nobody asks about the budget
except
for you.
Yeah, but I mean, it should have been in the front page, and their proposed budget should have been right there. That'd have been the simple thing to do. But I sort of asked and sort of pecked away at what this was, why this was being asked, and I basically got, screw you as an answer. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what I got. So Jason and myself and a handful of others decided to attend the council meeting that night and express our concerns about this. And I don't think they liked us showing up too much. What do you think?
No, I mean, all we hear about is how the, well, she is still current, but not for long. Mayor Renee Bowman is the champion of citizen input, started the citizen input times, is out listening to people everywhere all the time and taking feedback. And then we show up to talk about something that we heard about 3 days ago, and she accused us of hijacking the process.
Well, I mean...
She didn't like it.
Well, I mean, Renee in particular, I mean, I just react to that with pity. I mean, she's taking this loss pretty hard.
Yeah.
And I think she blames everybody for losing but herself. She made comments in the Sun Post recently that the community is, quote, divided, which I don't understand why there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I don't understand. If everybody thought the same thing, that's when I'd get worried. And she said that all her great things have gone unnoticed. I think the problem is that they have been noticed, and people don't think they're too great.
Right.
And when it came to certifying the election, she abstained. She would not vote to certify the elections that she got. I wonder, Renee, if you certified the elections that you won. You know, and I'm the one that's vengeful. I'm the one that's the jerk. I'm the one that's the conspiracy theorist. I mean, you know.
I thought you took your, that you didn't win really gracefully.
Oh, well, I got
you
good
didn't go
friends.
around moping or
Johnny
anything
Walker,
like that.
Jim Beam, Jack Daniels.
As a
I got
matter
good
of fact,
friends.
You didn't. Not only did you not go around moping, but I've never seen you condescend to anybody.
Oh, well, you don't know me that well. I'm just kidding.